Good afternoon, folks. I appreciate that, right? Oh my gosh, all of a sudden it's so quiet. Oh, someone's on stage. My name is James Barco, and I serve as the Director of Undergraduate Initiatives here at Washburn University. For parents and guests, just a little bit later after lunch, I'll get a chance to visit with you all. At the moment, it is both my privilege, honor, pleasure, all of the above, to introduce one of my absolute favorite former students, and now just a great friend. Blythe Landon is a Washburn alumnus, graduating with a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in Marketing and International Business. She's now working as the onboarding specialist at Advisor Excel, using her passion for learning, peer mentorship, and positive company culture to create a meaningful onboarding and training experience for all of their new hires. Blythe also enjoys getting involved in her community by volunteering at her church council secretary, working on the marketing committee for the Jayhawk Theater, and participating in community service events through Advisors Excel. In her time at Washburn, Blythe enjoyed involvement as a senior peer educator, sponsorships coordinator for the Leadership Institute, president of Alpha Lambda Delta, Ichabod's Moving Forward council member, Knowledge Speak Up champion, student fellow for the Brennan series, and an intern in the president's office. Blythe was honored as one of the Business School's Magnificent Seven, a Siverson finalist, and a Woo's Who recipient. Please give a warm welcome for Ms. Blythe Landon.
Thank you, James. So, I want to start this off like I do with my new hires at Advisors Excel. I would love to know, I want to show of hands here, who is nervous for their first day of college? Come on, be honest. Yeah. In my new hire training, we have Vegas rules. You know, whatever happens in new hire training stays in new hire training. That applies here. And if you guys are nervous for your first day, that's okay. My new hires who are, real adults with careers and such, they're nervous for their first day too. So I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell them. Take a deep breath. This is audience participation. Take a deep breath. It's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out on your first day, okay? You do, however, have an exciting road ahead of you here at Washburn. And in order to get you on the right trajectory, I thought I'd share with you guys a little bit of the secret sauce I found in my time here. There are 3 people that you have to meet, and the sooner you find them, the better. First, you need to find someone who's going to discourage you. Second, you need to find someone who's going to mentor you. And third, you have to find someone that's going to hold you accountable. If you can find these 3 people, you'll be on track for success here at Washburn. The first one sounds a little suspicious, right? Someone to discourage you? Well, let me explain. I had dozens of conversations with various professors and leaders in my time here at Washburn, especially in my first and second year when I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I remember one of those conversations was with my first year world religions professor, Dr. Chris Jones. And I went to his office hours and we were talking about my future, and he said, set aside the money and the expectations and everything else, and just think about what you really want to do. I said, I think I'd really like to be a professor. He contemplated the idea for a moment, and then he said, I don't think you would. First of all, ouch. But before my ego had a chance to scream, you don't know me, he followed it with this. Don't get me wrong, I think you'd be a great teacher. I see that passion in you. But it's everything else that comes with being a professor I don't think you'd like. I don't think you'd like the endless piles of grading and paperwork. I think that you would hate researching a very niche topic for 8 years for your dissertation. And quite frankly, Blythe, I think that you're the kind of person that needs to see every day that they've made a difference. I don't know if you would find that on the road to professorship. After I thought about it for a little while, I realized that he was right. And it was a humbling moment to think I might not be suited for something I thought I really wanted to do. So, find someone who's going to discourage you from the wrong path and keep you from getting distracted with shiny things. Someone who's going to give you a cold, hard dose of reality. All the best leaders in the world have at least one of these in their inner circle. So I knew what I didn't want to do. For most of us, that's a little easier to figure out, right? I mean, if you faint at the sight of blood, you probably should go to medicine, yeah? But now I had to figure out what I wanted to do, right? Wrong. You have your whole life to figure out what you want to do. I promise. I've been in the full-time career role for about a year now, and there are people who have been at it way longer than me who have switched on only jobs, but careers and industries, all across the board. Doors open, opportunities knock, your own passions and interests are going to change. So take a deep breath. The job that you one day retire from is pretty much never the job that you start out in. You really don't have to have it all figured out right now. You do, however, need to figure out who you want to be. After my first year, I had a peer educator encourage me to apply and go through peer educator training. In an effort to get involved, I did. And I fell in love with the program. I met so many cool students and fellow peer educators, and I got a lot of weirdly directly relevant experience for my current full-time job. It was an incredible opportunity, and through that program, I met James, and our director of undergraduate initiatives, and he was the one that ended up becoming my mentor here at Washburn. His passion for his work, his belief in what he was doing, his care for students, his patience, his understanding, all of those things were things that I wanted to take with me into my future. So whether he knew it at the time or not, James became my mentor. And I remember talking his ear off about my problems a number of times. Particularly, I remember going to him once during my sophomore year, that notorious time when enthusiastic students overcommit themselves. And I said to him, James, I don't even feel like a person anymore. I was nearly crying in James' office at this point. I was like, I have signed up for too many events. I've missed seeing my nieces at the pumpkin patch because I signed up for another event. And I haven't gotten coffee with my friends in weeks. You know what he told me? He said, go get coffee with your friends. Because that's the kind of leader he is. The kind that listens, understands, and then gently helps you to get your priorities back in order. Not according to any agenda that he has or the way that he thinks they ought to be arranged, but the way that you actually need to arrange them for you. That's the kind of leader I wanted to be. So I knew what I didn't want to do, and I knew who I wanted to be. So at this point, I was really humming along. I mean, I was a straight-A student, I had my scholarships, I had my leadership positions, heck, I had a great internship and a full-time job offer on the table. I was walking around like I owned the place. That should be your sign, by the way. When you start walking around like you own the place, someone's usually coming along to knock you down a peg or two and keep you humble. In my case, that came in the form of a professor that I've had for years in various classes, and he was the one that held me accountable. During the final semester of my senior year, I came down with an acute case of senioritis. I was done. I had paid my dues. I didn't want to do the work anymore, so I figured it wouldn't matter if right before spring break, I turned in what I knew was a subpar paper for Dr. Soika's international marketing class. And I'd done the assignment, right? I had 25 pages of okay stuff. How bad could it be? It was bad. So you can imagine my surprise when I came back from spring break and Dr. Soika opened up the class by saying, that was about the worst batch of papers I've ever seen. The grades range from about 40 to 90, and only 2 of you managed to pull a 90. If you're one of those 2, you're good to go. Otherwise, please come talk to me after class. So after class, I kind of swagger up to him, fully expecting to be one of the 90s in the class. I mean, I'd never gotten anything less than an A from him. And in my arrogance, I start the conversation by saying, I assume I don't need to come to your office hours tomorrow. First of all, never start a conversation that way. Second of all, he said, no, you do. Please come by tomorrow. That was enough to give me a small heart attack. So I showed up to his office hours the next day. Again, still trying to play it cool, fully planning on leaning on his door frame, being like, hey, Dr. Soika, and getting out ASAP. I said, hey, Dr. Soika, and he says, have a seat. Okay. So I sit down. He proceeds to toss my paper onto his desk and say, what the heck is that? That's my paper. I hope. I was starting to think I'd accidentally submitted my diary. He says, and I'm never going to forget these next words that he said. He said, Blythe, you are a straight-A student, And I don't just mean in this class, I mean in life. And that is not a straight A paper. You are on a pedestal of excellence, and it is so easy to fall off if you decide you don't care anymore, if you decide you're not going to try. That felt like a slap in the face. But after I healed up from my bruised ego and made a show of turning in the best darn 55-page in-depth paper he'd ever seen, I learned something very important. When you live up to a higher standard, people notice. Whether it's on the field, in the classroom, or anywhere else in life, in the workplace, people are going to notice. It feels pretty good when being noticed means getting rewarded or called up onto the stage, right? It doesn't feel so good when being noticed means being held accountable. You guys are being noticed today, and I congratulate you. Because you're being noticed for the incredible people that you are, the Ichabods that you're going to become, the work that you've already accomplished, the scholarships that you've earned. I congratulate you. But that congratulations comes with a caution. You are being noticed. Your reputation for excellence, for who you are as future Ichabods, is now preceding you. People are looking, people are watching, and people are waiting to see what you're going to become in your time here. The theme for these new student orientations is ad astra, but as good Kansans, we know that the full motto is ad astra per aspera, to the stars through difficulty. You are going to accomplish incredible things in your time here at Washburn. You're going to make new friends, you're going to explore, you're going to find so many new parts of yourself, you're going to argue with professors, and you're going to find your people here. I did. Because of those three people, I stayed on track and graduated with my BBA in Marketing and International Business. With the reference of Dr. Grosevich, our Vice President for Student Life, I started my internship at Advisors Excel, the biggest independent marketing organization in the country. And I get to use my passion for people and marketing as I run our new hire training, orientation, and recruiting. And I did it because of our other Latin motto, non nobis solum, not for ourselves alone. Don't pursue excellence for your own ego or resume. They'll be just fine. Do it because the world needs excellence. Do it because your professors deserve the extra mile. Do it because it's inspirational to your peers. Do it because it is way more fun to set the bar than to just skate by. But if it's not for ourselves alone, it's not by ourselves alone either. If you find those three people in your time here at Washburn, someone to discourage you, someone to mentor you, and someone to hold you accountable, you're going to be the most unstoppable class of Ichabods ever to start at Washburn. Congratulations, and go Bods.